we need each other. And the reality is that we always have. In past times, our ancestors, they had each other. In past times, the young men had each other, if nothing else. And I want it to be understood that there's a lot of talk going on around about, let's go and get land back, let's go and get this back, that back. All of that is, all fine and good in its proper place. But at the end of the day, it's so much more important for us to get each other back, for us to reestablish relationships with each other, because that's the purpose of the tribal creation, is that we are able to communicate with each other, we are able to build with each other, we are able to have the ecosystem with each other. That's why you guys will never see me, get on here and be for a certain type of tribe or be for a certain group of people. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna be for, a tribe in general, so you do have to provide information in regards to that, or at least know information in regards to that. But the reasoning for that and the ecosystem that we're building will be presented to you at a later time. But I want you to understand right now that we need each other. We come from, it's in our bloodline for us to need each other. And I think that's the reason why a lot of us are having so many issues in today's world, is because they use the divide and conquer mentality. They use the divide and conquer because they control the means of the medium, which is the media, but we will get into that shortly. Our strength has always came in numbers. I want you guys to understand that. What good does me getting on here do if you guys don't get on here as well? What good does a couple individuals that are gonna be on the front lines? That's not the way that it was supposed to be. In all reality, a lot of you guys are better than that. A lot of you guys are stronger than that. A lot of you guys are hesitant to do the things that you've been called to do because you want to listen to everyone else around you. I want you guys to understand right now that I've given up everything for this. And people think that shit's a game and this and that, but those of you guys that are on the front lines know exactly what I mean when I say that. I have given up everything just to be here talking to you right now. Everything. I've given up everything. I've forewent and sacrificed everything that I could be doing right now. Sacrificed everything I could be experiencing right now. Sacrificed everything that I could be enjoying right now just to be here talking to you guys, because that meant the most to me. I've been doing this for years at this point. I want you guys to understand that as well, because and I'm only making a point to say these things because I know a lot of you guys are in the midst of this as well, and I want it to be normalized that we are all sacrificing something. I want it to be normalized that it's painful. I want it to be normalized that we're going through hardship and adversities, and that's why I say that our strength is in our numbers, because in traditional times and past times and in the right perspective, we would be in war parties together. We would be in war parties together. And I want you to understand that like a lot of us have sacrificed to be on the front lines like this. A lot of us have sacrificed everything because the powers that be don't even want us to put out content. The powers that be, because it's a physical battle, but it's also a spiritual, mental battle as well. When we look at the powers that be that are, adverse to us putting out this information, they're adverse to us even representing, what our ancestors and what the Creator has called us to represent, this chosen bloodline. And when we think about everything that goes into that, we have to, put into the equation the fact that you will be tested, you will be tried. And I don't think that all of these tests, trials, and all of that comes from just seeing how strong you are, seeing if you could get, go through it to get to it. Some of it is that. But I think that a lot of the test just comes with the sacrifice in the current time period of, the fact that it is what it is right now. We got to continue to fight and be on the front lines. But I want you guys to understand that, like, I've sacrificed for this. You guys have sacrificed for this. We've sacrificed for this. So we earned this. We earned the collective, awakening of some parts of society right now. And I want to touch on that for a second as well. I want you to understand that there will always be 90% of the population is always going to do what's the most accepted. They're always going to follow that straight path. They're always going to follow that pre-made path. They're not going to go onto the alternate path on their own. They're not going to go on, make this great escape like us. They're not a part of the chosen in reality. Even if they can trace their lineage to some chosen bloodline, they're not really a part of this chosen. And I want you to understand that when we get enough individuals to represent this chosen, rewrite the narrative and make it look good, they will fall in line just like they've fallen in line since the beginning of time. 90% of the population will always do what is most accepted. So while we're front lines fighting against the grain, you know, we just got to do what we got to do, be the warriors that, you know, we were chosen to be. Because these individuals, they will fall in line once it is most accepted. Just like how they're falling in line with the nonsense that's going on right now, even though it makes no logical sense, they're falling in line with it because it doesn't have to make sense to them. They just want to do what's the most accepted, and that is what it is. Now, I want to bring awareness to the fact that, you know, they never believed that we could unite, you know, and that's why I referenced the fact that, you know, I've given up everything. I've sacrificed, you know, a lot of things just to be here talking to you guys right now, because I've really believed in us from day one that I've been doing this. I was creating content a long time ago, you know, and I've really believed in us since the first piece of content I've ever made, since the first ecosystem model that I ever made for us to endeavor to have. And, you know, I've been working on it ever since. And I want you guys to really understand that the reason why, you know, like people have laughed at us, you know, people have shamed and condemned us, you know, people have told us that it would never work. They've only expressed nothing but disbelief in us. You know, the only love I've received is from, you know, each other. And I want you guys to take this into its proper perspective and understand that we have to show them that they are wrong. We have to show them that they were wrong from the very beginning, that we can unite. Now, it's not going to be all people of this skin tone are going to unite. And, you know, that's just, no, I'm not operating on the confines of that right there. No, I'm talking about the chosen. And you guys know what I mean when I say that. Like, there are a select group of individuals, despite their tribe differences, even really despite their ethnic differences, because you guys know how I feel about, you know, my Ghanaian brothers and my Moroccan brothers and all of that. Though there is a difference in the people, you know, we still can come under one governing, operating, you know, idea, come together as one under one premise, one idea, and one direction that we're trying to go in, which is making this great escape. One direction we're trying to go in, which is reestablishing, you know, our separate tribes. But yes, we can have alliances and build this ecosystem that will allow us to have more strength in these numbers. You know, so they've always laughed at us. They've never respected us. So we got to make them respect us. You know, I was in a boxing gym one time, and I remember when I was younger, you know, I had a boxing coach, and, you know, I was sparring. I believe it might have been my first time, you know, my first little spar experience. It was light. It wasn't even nothing heavy, but, you know, I was in there, and he was just more advanced than me. So he was just hitting me with combinations fast. And so I remember it was the end of the round. He pulled me out. The coach pulled me out, and he was like, look, if you cannot make him feel pain, he's not going to respect you. There are certain situations in life where if you cannot make that person feel pain, they are not going to respect you. You know, it is what it is. Men only respect other men because they know. They have to know. He has to know that as soon as he gets caught slipping, he's going to be punished for it. He's going to feel pain for it. That's the respect that you're going to get from him. Now, I'm not suggesting us to, you know, handle things in a violent situation, but I'm just saying in general, we have to make them respect us. It's been too long that they've been playing with us. It's been too long that they've been laughing at us. It's been too long that they've been, you know, just going about their business and, you know, acting like what we saying isn't the best thing going, act like what we got going on isn't the most intellectual shit they've ever heard. You know, and I'm really referring to this ain't even talking to them. I'm talking about our own people that look like me and you. It be them. It be them. It be the people that look like me and you. And, you know, I can get deep into that as to why that is, you know, in various different ways. I'll probably do some later content about that, but it will definitely be in the tribe because I'm already having trouble putting this content out for you guys. Just keeping it real. You know, they Google, YouTube, they like to give the runaround because, you know, this is something that is growing out of their control. You know, so that's why it has to be more than one person just giving it out, and it is, but it needs to be more. But yeah, man, it be the people that look like me and you that really be doing that, and that's the people that, unfortunately, that's the people that we gotta make respect us. That it be them, it be our own people. So, like, our own people. Like, let's think about that. Our own people don't want us to unite in our tribes. Our own people don't want us to have tribal alliances. Our own people don't want us to have the ecosystem. That's who the enemy is. So see, so many people want to create content. So many people even want to talk about the overall premise of the subject right here and act like the enemy is some outside, other race even. No, it's not. It's our own. I want to get that clear from day one. That's who I'm saying the enemy. The enemy is really a mindset, and that mindset has been, is embodied by the people that look like me and you. I've not gotten hate from a person outside of my skin tone. I just haven't. I've not encountered that. I've encountered the hate. I've encountered the laughing. I've encountered the disbelief. I've encountered all of that from the people that look like me and you, and it be the individuals that don't even have shit going. But that's for another time period, and that really ties into what I'm getting into right now, though. Why is that? That's because, we have to take control of this narrative. They control this narrative through social media. They control all of that. In fact, they control who can post on social media and who can't. They control that. Like I just told you guys, they like to give the runaround for this type of stuff right now. It really depends on how you coming at it. Like, if you're just giving general information and this document says this document says, then you're good. But the way that I be coming at it, I've really tested it out even, and I'm convinced that they have somebody that watches certain videos, because they will flag me for certain things that I said at the end of the video, not at the beginning, at the end. So I'm trying to figure out how they even knew, but that's a whole different conversation. But yes, they are controlling this narrative, and we must utilize this tool to take control of this narrative and remind them who the fuck we are every single day, every single chance that we get. Not just in the realm of what a man is, what a man's supposed to be, but remind them who we are as far as represent your people, represent them well, and represent this chosen well. The collection, the Black Warrior, the collection of all the lost tribes. Yeah, because we gotta, no matter what you do, it's a lot of people teaching, well, let's go and find our tribe or whatever, and then you can find who your people belong, what tribe they were a part of, and then go and register with them. But I'm gonna just keep it straight up. If it's not the Yamasee tribe, from my knowledge, if it's not the Yamasee tribe, then it doesn't even matter, because it's not real. It's been infiltrated anyway. So we gotta rebuild anyway. And so I want everyone to understand that, like, they're taking control of this narrative, and we gotta remind them who we are. We gotta remind them who we are every single day, and really build this ecosystem. Because that's, when capitalism was introduced to our ancestors, they were business owners, they were land owners, they were not workers. They were finessed into being that over a period of time. But when we look at Tulsa, Oklahoma, when we look at Durham, North Carolina, when we look at all these different instances and places, we understand that the entrepreneurship spirit, the warrior spirit, the intellectual spirit inhabits all of us. It always has. So we must build an ecosystem, and that's what they don't like me getting on here talk about. That's why every time I talk about cryptocurrency for any length of time, they like to flag it. And see, the people that talk about cryptocurrency and they are just talking about it in the terms of trading, or talking about it in the terms of a strategy or whatever, they don't get flagged. They're fine. But see, when I talk about it in terms of, we don't need their currency because we have better stores of value. We don't need, their institutions because we have nomadic entrepreneurship. When I start getting into stuff like that, they don't like that. So we got to take this on as a group, because there's strength in numbers, and it has to be all of us giving this game. It has to be all of us contributing to build this ecosystem. And that's exactly what the Great Escape was created for. And that's why the Black Warrior, the collection of all the lost tribes, is even coming together. That's the reason why. Because it's going to take all of us to be a part of this, so that we can have something to pass down, so that we can collect, lands back, so that we can buy new lands, so that we can do all of that type of stuff. And that's what they don't like. But that's the utilization of the decentralized aspect of cryptocurrency, because we need to step into a decentralized aspect of this realm of life. I'm tired of being centralized everywhere I go. I'm tired of doing all of that. That's not how we were prior to the creation of this modern civilization that has only existed for a short period of time. See, that's the illusion that they give to you in this indoctrination that we see coming through this phone, through these TVs, through the teachings that they give. They wanted the game is to make you think that society has always been this way, or to make you think that society is the best that it's ever been, and that's not the case. That's not the case at all. And, what do I mean by, never let them forget who we are? You must take time out to study who you were, time out to study, where your lineage comes from. And that's why doing genealogy is important, for amongst other reasons that we get into inside of The Great Escape. But I want you to understand that, like, we can't let them forget who we are in terms of, like, the warrior spirit, in terms of the entrepreneurial spirit, in terms of just our overall character, and that's why we must take control of this narrative. No matter if you're posting content proving some of these facts that we see here currently, or whether you're making content that's, showing that you're working out, that you're building a physique, that you're a warrior, or you make content showing your mental warrior spirit, where we're just intellectual in the aspect of building the ecosystem, or you make content showing the entrepreneurial spirit, or you just get inside a Great Escape or any of the other communities and provide value there. Like, don't let a day go by where you let them forget who we are.